Say good morning.
Good morning.
Say it again. Say good
Good
morning.
morning, good morning, good morning.
Hey, what's up, guys? Good morning. My son's here to wish everybody good morning.
Good morning.
All right, I'll be back. All right, guys, I'm back. My son is officially going to school today. Let's see. Sorry, I'm a little late. My son is officially going to school today. Let's see. And yeah, he's actually going to school today. Let me catch back up in the chat. Appreciate it, 2A. What's up, Scott? Bamboo. Emily. James. What's up, bro? Justin. Shally. All right, so let's read some news here. Right now, what I'm looking at is OBLN. OBLN gapping up from 38 cents roughly to 98 cents. It broke over a dollar for a split second and eventually got pushed back under. It's at 98 cents. I think this one's really interesting to see if it breaks that whole dollar right here. To see if it cracks that level. You know, I think that's an interesting one for OBSS or OBLN, sorry. And then we also have VLRX. VLRX looks interesting here, gapping up from 370s to 505. This one's interesting as well. I really like the levels for this one. I think 480 is pretty significant here, and I also think that this 450 level is pretty big, and so I think it's got a nice little range to follow here for VLRX, and so you could look to attack this range here. Like I said, it's got this nice little range. Let me see if there we go. That should be a little bit better, right? Might have to move this to the side a little bit. There we go. That's better. So yeah, this range on VLRX looks good. Also looking at SE gapping up, C Unlimited, Spectra Energy gapping up from 25.30s to 30.24. So decent sized gap up here, pretty big gap up, almost $5 or so. Going to be watching that one as well as the cannabis stock, CGC, Cron, AMD gapping down some. We also have AVP, Avon, gapping up from 320s to 360s. So decent gap. Not a huge range for this stock, but a decent gap. We also have Target, TGT. And yeah, let me know if you guys see anything else. We can look up news in a minute now. So for what 2Way saying here, Wall Street broke a 2-day losing streak with some strong Tuesday gains, but futures were pointing to a modestly lower open ahead of today's session. Investors continue to watch for the China trade developments, and despite bumped my knee. And despite recent volatility, the Dow is just 3.5% below its October 2018 record close. The S&P 500 is 2.8% behind its May 1 record close, and the Nasdaq is 4.6% off of its May 3rd all-time high close. And so for OBLN here, which is this top stock right here, it's actually dropping down some. It's down to 94.5 right now. OBLN right here. The news for this one is that they announced acceptance of an analytical comparability plan by the US FDA to support the BLA and commercialization of their lead asset, Vicinium. Sounds like a biodrug, and it's for non-muscle invasive bladder cancer, float of 9.32 million. So small float overall for this one for OBLN. We'll see what happens with it. We also have CODX here. CODX gapping up some from 91 to 117 for CODX. Co-Diagnostics Incorporated, they basically announced a sale for the U.S. sales of vector control laboratory packages and tests, float of 8.34 million. And so small float for this one as well. Like I mentioned earlier, we also have VLRX that's moving some, VLRX, and they are gapping up from 370s to 5 basically. They demonstrated positive impact in diabetes quality performance measures in an older adult population, had an 1 to 20 RS float of 3.27 million. So a very small float for VLRX. We'll see where this one goes as well. But like I said, I like this range in between 550 and this 480 level or so. I think that range is very obvious, and you could look to attack this range on the upside or the downside for VLRX. We also have INPX here, not really moving much. They completed the acquisition of Locality Systems Incorporated, float of roughly 10 million. We also have SNOA, which is Sonoma Pharmaceuticals. They sell animal health rights in Asia and Europe for 2.7 million, float of 11.68 million. Interesting. We'll see where that one goes. Appreciate that too, eh? Appreciate the news, brother. So yeah, we could look up someone SE now. SE looks interesting. It's an energy stock. So quarter one revenue more than doubled for SE, and that's what's causing it to push up. So really good quarter one revenue for SE, and we'll see where that one we'll see where that one goes. We also have CGC, gapping up from 44, basically 45 to 45.25. So it's only gapping up 26 cents at this point, and we'll see where that one heads. Also CRON, the cannabis plays as well are gapping up some, and then AVP, Avon. I know somebody mentioned this one. They talked with Natura for an all-stock deal for AVP. We'll see where that one heads as well. OBLN offering of 3,789,399 shares of common stock with Lincoln Park Capital Fund LLC. That's the greatest name of a capital fund I've ever heard. It's actually called Lincoln Park. You could tell I grew up in the 90s, man. You could tell I grew up in the 90s. But yeah, we got Lincoln Park Capital over here. TBLT. TBLT getting some volume here, running up from 86 cents all the way to over $1 and then back down to 93 cents where it's sitting now for TBLT. We'll see where this one goes. Definitely watching it. It's got some volume coming in for sure. Well, maybe they're trying to hide all that. So the SEC gave OBLN a notice of delisting too. Let's look that up. I think that's a more interesting story here. So positive data. Large-scale commercial use study was presented at the Digestive Disease Week. Positive data. So yeah, they got a NASDAQ notice over stockholder equity and bid price non-compliance for OBLN. Notice of delisting, notification, letters from NASDAQ. Wow, I mean, it's honestly, OBLN though is honestly a very interesting drug, reading it here. So this is, OBLN apparently is the first and only FDA approved swallowable gas-filled intragastric balloon system for the treatment of obesity. And so it's the first FDA approved swallowable gas-filled balloon system for obesity. And that's interesting. That's really, I mean, that's a really interesting thing here. And so you kind of want them to succeed, just to help people be healthier, but, apparently they got a notice. I think they'll probably end up doing well. They'll be all right. They'll regain compliance, but interesting there for sure. OBLN, notice of delisting or failure to satisfy a continued listing rule or standard transfer of listing. I appreciate it. Yeah, interesting here. We'll see where it goes. Very interesting, though. I can't figure out what this stock is. It's got a bunch of dots next to it on Trade Ideas. ASCMA is what it is. Ascent Capital Group. Super volatile this morning. ASCMA. We'll see where that one heads now. My son is back at school, guys. My son is back in school. Alright, guys, so let's see what my account's at now. I think I'll be trading a lot better once my account is actually, um, like a little bit over. I am $47 in the green on my account. I'll take it. We'll see how much I can keep building this thing up. Let's see how much of this is tradable. All right. Yeah, man. I mean, my son has been home. My son has been home every day for the last like week, and my wife has been sick too. So I've been doing most of the watching of him. I've been the one watching him the most, and so it's just been hectic. And it's weird. He's run like a low grade fever, like a very small fever. Like it's been like 99.3, 99.2, and he finally broke it and stopped running it. So he's back at school today. We brought him to the doctor. He's on antibiotics, but I think it's, considering my wife is sick with almost identical symptoms, it's most likely viral. Is Bitcoin worth investing in still? I mean, that's a loaded question, man. I don't. I think it was good, obviously, at 3,500, but that's hindsight. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna know if it's good or bad in hindsight. At this point, I'm not gonna buy it. You know, I'm not gonna buy Bitcoin right now, because, you know, I think it's just up too much in the last month or two to really warrant investing in it. But like I said, who really knows, man? This thing, Bitcoin could shoot back up to 20,000. Who knows? I really don't. I don't want to tell somebody the wrong answer. I hope it succeeds. You know, I'm anti big bank over here, so like I hope it succeeds. You know, but do I think it will? I don't know. I'll be right back. All right. I am back. But yeah, with Bitcoin, I mean, it all depends, man. Let's see what Bitcoin's at now. Bitcoin is at 7,823. So I mean, it's not doing too shabby here. I mean, it's more than doubled in the last few months. And you know, if you look at the daily chart, it looks bad, but Let's see. The weekly chart looks good. The monthly chart looks really good. So, I mean, who knows, man? Who knows? You know. Do I think it'll get up to 20,000 again? I don't know. Anyone here use trailing stops? No, I don't even use a physical stop. The reason I've talked about it before, the reason I kind of stay away from physical stops, and this is all preference. This is all subjective and preference, and different people are going to see it differently. But I don't use physical stops because a lot of the time you'll get stocks that like spike up and then immediately fall back down. And that's a lot of times market makers can kind of stop people out. And so a lot of times you'll get stocks that kind of spike up and then immediately stop you out. And I tend to like mine to test my risk level first before I exit the trade. And if I jumped out of the trade every time it tested my risk level, my accuracy would go way down. And so that's like my own method of doing it. Some people are going to say, you got to get out as soon as it hits your risk. And I understand that logic, but I think everybody's different in that regard. And you got to kind of take it on a case-by-case basis, I feel like. I appreciate the sub, GE. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it, man. Welcome to the stream, brother. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Mitch and I day trade live on stream every weekday morning. So hit that subscribe button if you want to watch us day trade live. VLRX squeezing up here. Like I said, I really like the range on this one. Over 550 looks really interesting. Down below at 480 looks really interesting, and it's got this really obvious range here. I think that looks good. Hey, what's up, Alpine? What's up, brother? We got Alpine Trader in the house, man. What's up, bro? What's up, man? You bringing your channel back to life, Alpine? What happened, bro? You bringing it back to life, man? Appreciate the sub, Frank. Appreciate the sub daily. Welcome, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I feel you, bro. The stream probably hurts my trading to a certain extent. What's up, Bill? I'll put it this way. My two biggest gains that I've made in the market in the last month or two have all been off stream. And I think probably because of less pressure, I mean, I'm going to continue streaming because I think it teaches me to trade more disciplined and selective, but I feel you. What's up, Skippy? What's up, man? Alright, so yeah, like I said, my account is 2,400 into the green. Or no, 400 or 40 into the green. Let me see. It is $47.61 into the green. And if you guys want to see my graph, check out my graph. It's an ugly graph. It's a terrible graph. I'm not proud of this graph, but it's a profitable graph, and so I'll take it. Let me see. Check out my graph, guys. I imported all my trades from the last like few months in here, and it's kind of bad. Look at that. Look at that graph, man. Look at this thing. That is my graph. I mean, I'll take it though, for sure. Like I said, I came back from like a $500 deficit, and so I kind of fought my way back. But not too shabby here. We'll see if I can get that 9-day green streak going today. But that's my graph. I held BIOC from 120 to 157 on Monday, and yesterday from 190 short to 150. If I had so many people watching, I wouldn't be able to patiently hold it. Exactly, man. It's tough, bro. It's tough, man. Hey, are you making fun of my accent, Crisps? I see you, bro. I see you, man. No, let me look at BCRX. Yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough when you're streaming and you got all this pressure on you because everybody's watching you. It's tough, man. Massive drop for BCRX. I mean, I somewhat think this is really hard to predict. I think with BCRX, it's going to be pretty tough to predict. I think it's going to be really tough to predict this move. I think this is some type of catalyst, and we can look up what catalyst it is. But like I said, I think that's going to be really tough to predict. Trial results is what this is from. So this is from trial results. And yeah, like I said, it's really going to be tough to predict this type of move. And so, I mean, you could trade it off the fade a little bit the next day, but it's going to be hard to predict that type of move in general. What's your most interesting stock right now? My most interesting stock. If I could trade it, I would probably like, what was it, VLRX here. Because I think the range is very obvious. You can see the range here. I really like this one. $50 range at 550. Maybe this pre-market high, but I think it's just a really self-evident range that you could attack. And so probably VLRX, but I'm not able to actually trade this one. And so I can't necessarily trade it, but if I could, that's the one I would probably be watching. I would probably be watching VLRX. Just to see if it breaks out on the range, on the upside or downside. If it breaks on the downside, it's got this big gap to fill with basically no support and resistance. So it's got this gap to the previous closing price right around there. And so you'll have some room there. And if it breaks over the pre-market high, it's got... it's breaking the highs, and so if it can break over that pre-market high, it's breaking its lifetime highs, and so that'll be interesting as well. What's up, Felix? What's up, bro? But for stocks that I can actually trade, I'm watching SE. What was that? For stocks I can trade, I'm watching SE. SE's got a nice gap. It's got some support and resistance to guide me in pre-market. Let's see, it's got 28 here. It's got this level here. This level here. So it's got some significant levels to look at for SE. And so I'll probably watch that one. I'll also watch the cannabis stocks today, CRON, CGC. Maybe Target as well. Target's got some levels to watch. AVP looks interesting as well. It's got this 360 level, 350, 360, and then it's got this. And some highs up here to keep an eye on. Around 380 looks good. So we got some stuff that I'm looking at. WWR, warrant price of 411. Yeah, it's at 650. Looks like a tiny float stock. What's the float on that one? EKSO gapping down pretty big here as well. QCOM has had some decent fades. Specifically yesterday, it had some good fades on it. Big gap down for QCOM, though. I'll probably end up watching this one, too. And so we'll see what we get for that one. But that's one that looks interesting to me as well for QCOM. No, we can't trade AVP. I don't think we can, at least. Oops. What did I do? There we go. All right, guys, we got 5 minutes left. Yeah, AVP is not tradable. ERIC, Eric. Honestly, ERIC looks just like a huge float. It looks like the float's too big. Small range, you know, too small of a range and too large of a float for ERIC. So it's just not really my style. You know, I trade mostly mid and high cap stocks, but most of the time I want them to be somewhat volatile. And so this one just has too big of a range, or too small of a range, probably too big of a float for me to be really interested in it. Probably won't move. Even if it gets really volatile for this stock, it's still probably only going to move like 30 cents. You know, there's just not enough to, I'd have to use really big sizing, and that would be more commissions for me. It just doesn't make sense for me. All right, guys, we got 4 minutes. Let's get everything rolling here. All right, let's do this. Hey, Alpine, join our public Discord, man. We created a Discord for our room, so join our public Discord here. Come chat with us when we're not streaming, brother. And if anybody wants to join our public Discord, like I said, our goal for this is creating a free trading chat. We're trying to create a free day trading chat. And so if you want to be a part of that and join our Discord, check out the link. There it is right there. You can join it, be a part of it. We have like over 350 people there now, I think. Over 350, I think. Let me see. We got a bunch of people. I don't know how many exactly. We have, yeah, we've got about 360 people there. So join our public Discord. There's the link right there in the chat. Yeah, it's cool though, man. I used to watch Alpine's videos before I did anything. When I first started trading, I used to watch Alpine Trader's videos. He used to trade on SureTrader. I used to watch every video that dude put out, man. Hey, appreciate all the new members of our Discord. Welcome, guys. Appreciate it. All right, guys. We got less than 2 minutes. Less than 2 minutes. What's everybody's main watch? I know a lot of people are going to be watching VLRX and what was the other one? OBLN. I know a bunch of people are going to be jumping on those today. Like I said, my main watches are probably the cannabis stocks, and I like VLRX. I can't trade it, though. All right, guys, we got less than a minute. Let's do it. Two. Yeah, man. All right, so let's see if we can get the moving average crossover play like I've been kind of attacking every day. It's been working exceptionally well, though. Let's get it ready this time. All right, guys, 10 seconds. Good luck, guys. 10 seconds. Let's do it. Here's the bell. All right. We get the bell here. Dude, it said we have an update for you, and I clicked pick a time. If it updates right now, I'm going to be angry at Windows. So I see we already had the moving average crossover a little bit earlier. Like I said, if this thing forces an update now after I said pick a time, I'm going to be mad. Alright, so AMD's pretty volatile right now. We got CGC dropping some. We got Cron dropping some. So I could look for some fades for CGC and Cron here. They just need to pick a direction a little bit more. We got AVP that's breaking down under those lows here. And we should be watching VLRX as well to see how that range works. So we're at the bottom of the range here for VLRX. Just broke underneath that big range at 480 here. And so we'll see what happens. We'll see if that level holds as resistance at this point. SE as well. SE's dropping some too. I could look at the VWAP fade for SE. Alright, so I tried to get in the moving average crossover play on AMD here. We'll see if it works. But big drop for VLRX here, big drop for VLRX, and we can, like I said, we can kind of look at SE here, SE, to see if it's going to follow through. Cron dropped pretty significantly here as well. So for this moving average crossover play, the range is only about 15 cents today, and the range in pre-market is relatively small, and so I'm going to give a risk of about 10 to 15 cents, and then a reward target of 10 to 15 cents. So 27.05 would be risk, and then 27.35 or so would be my reward target. But SE doesn't look bad. If it pulls back to 35, I could use 65 as my risk, just about around 65 as my risk. That gives me a 30-cent risk, and then I could do 70 as my reward target. So that doesn't look bad for SE. But a big drop on VLRX, just really breaking through that range here. And that's why I said that range is one of the more interesting things to watch for VLRX. Just a big pullback. I was about to take some profits for AMD, but it just pulled back really quickly here. Now, Cron looks interesting here. Cron does look interesting. Look at that gap fill for VLRX. Really nice gap fill there. Cron's looking more interesting, though. I like that 73 risk here. So from 63 to 73, 10 cents. And then from 63 down to 43 could be a reasonable risk level for CRON. Gotta have a little bit better spread fill though here. The bid's at 58. I needed to run up a little bit there in order to give me a little bit better entry. 60's not bad. 65. Squeezes up too much. By the time the spread got good, it just wasn't. It didn't look super favorable. Didn't look too bad though. We could also look at SE here. Alright, so I took half off there for AMD. I'm telling you, this moving average crossover play has worked almost every single day for this one. Almost every day. Alright, so I got out right where I wanted to. Oh, I'm still holding 100 shares. Oops. Oops. Whatever. I never go long, so I'm not used to it. But yeah, moving average crossover play would have worked again today. I'm looking at CGC now. But yeah, that's another day of the moving average crossover play working here. Cron squeezed up, so I'm glad I didn't take that VWAP fade. It kind of looked good too, but glad I didn't ultimately take it. What's the overall market doing right now? I can also look at CGC here. But the SPY is pushing up. So the SPY is really bullish. Because of that, AMD's pushing up too. But let's move on from the moving average crossover play. It worked out well. How many days in a row is that the moving average crossover has worked? It's like, I think it's all week. So I'm using the moving average crossover play, and I'm still kind of in testing mode for that one. And it seems to be working pretty well for the moving average cross. It's worked like every day this week, but I'm just paper trading that one. After I do that, I usually move on to my live account, and I've just been trading VWAP fades. VWAP fades have been working exceptionally well lately, so that's kind of what I've been attacking. Alright, so I'm looking at SE. If it pulls back to 30.15, I could consider it. The only reason I don't like it as much, though, is because if it breaks 30.15 right here, or if it breaks this level, it's putting in a higher high to a certain extent. And I got to be a little bit careful about that. So we'll wait. We'll see what else we get. SPY's kind of, it pushed up originally. It's kind of going sideways now. And CGC with a monster squeeze up. So I'm glad I didn't try to short any of those VWAP cannabis stocks today. For small caps, though, we have CODX that's breaking highs here and moving up. But look at CGC here. Wow. Huge squeeze, big red to green move. Moving average crossover, Brennan. Here, I got a class on it, brother. So I'll send you that class. Hold on. So yeah, I got a class on it. It's right here. I'll post this link here, but it's one of our classes on it. Let me see. What? All right, so here's the moving average crossover play. That's the link for it right there. All right, so the SPY's pulling back some here. SPY is pulling back some. So yeah, we'll see what happens. The SPY is starting to turn around here, and I was considering shorting SE. But if this thing's trending against the market, if the market pushes up and this one pushes down, if the market starts to go down, this one could start to run up, and so I don't want to get caught in that. We'll see. I gotta make my decision here, though. I mean, SE doesn't look bad from a VWAP fades perspective. It's just about what the spread's like when it gets up there. I would only get in it with 100 shares just because it has a huge range as well. And I would have to get in it right around 29.80s or so, and it's at 29.50 roughly. And so I like the risk, though, of this previous high right here, or maybe 30.15. And so my risk would be about 30 cents, 35 cents. Big reward, though. Reward all the way down to 29 at least, so 80-cent reward. But I don't know if I'm going to get it anymore. It just basically squeezed all the way back down. Should have jumped in here if I would have tried to, if I was going to try to take it. AMD's also back at the VWAP. No, I'm not in SE. I'm not in anything right now. I should have, but hindsight's 2020. I mean, you could look at AMD and think maybe a VWAP bounce here. It could bounce at this level right here, and you could set a risk of like 18 here, get in here, and then set your reward target way up here. I don't mind that play. I think it's good risk reward at the very least. It's just about whether it's actually going to work, you know. Tight risk too, from 25 down to 19 or so, and so it's good risk reward here for AMD. It just depends on what the market does as well. Like if the market starts to squeeze down, it could drag AMD down too. But I don't hate it, and I think it's a good risk-reward play for AMD right here for a VWAP bounce. Considering taking it, I don't know. I may not. I'm not super used to long plays in general, so. What, Justin? What happened, man? You lost your account, bro? Then you're trading too big sizing, brother. You're trading way too big of sizing, brother. I'm sorry to hear that, though, man. That's rough. I hope you bounce back, brother. CGC still just running here. Just a big run, big move. And look at that bounce happened right there for AMD. I called this one out too. There's the bounce. Maybe I should have taken it. Maybe, you know, I let the VWAP bounce play has been working exceptionally well too. Yeah, man, it happens, bro. It's happened to the best of us, man. For sure. So don't stress it. You'll bounce back, brother. Yeah, brother. What, you know, Justin, when you come back, just take it slow, man. Just use small sizing and you'll bounce back, brother. You know, the good thing about TradeNet accounts is that they're much cheap. They're very cheap, and so don't, you know, it happens to almost everybody, especially new traders, and so you know, don't, you know, losing your account serves its purpose. It really does. Like, whenever you lose an account, it reinforces the rules you need to follow. And so see it as a positive thing. Stay optimistic about it, and you'll bounce back, brother. You know, don't beat yourself up too much over it. You know, and I hope you bounce back, brother. There goes AMD though. I'm kind of mad I didn't get in on this bounce. Called it out. Showed you guys the risk reward was there. And there's the bounce right there. Hindsight's 2020 though. SPY breaking lows here. We'll see if we get a pullback for SE to the VWAP. I'll still consider it here with SE. I like the risk a little bit better. That's tough, man. I've been doing that all week too, Justin. I've been doing that all week. I've been clicking the buy button when I really meant to sell. So I've been doing that all week, man. It happens. Man, guys, I'm over here. I choked on my coffee. Man, had to mute it for a second. Ugh. All right, so now the question is, do I want to take SE if it pulls back to the VWAP? Do I want to take it if it pulls back to the VWAP? I'm assuming he just lost an intro account on TradeNet. Trust him. That's what I'm guessing, at least. So that's the big question now. Yeah, there's the bounce. There's the bounce for AMD. Kind of kicking myself a little bit for not taking this when it showed up. I showed you guys the risk reward. Just a really tight risk. The risk was like 6 cents down to here. And made a lot of sense. Maybe should have jumped in this one. Beautiful example. Like I said, you take profits right where it went to now. And look where it goes up to. Right there. So was absolutely right about that one. All right, so now we're getting SE pullback here. Like I said, risk in this one would be from 70 up to 07. So risk would be around 37 cents. Reward would be from 70 down to 90 or so, so 80 cents. So still good risk reward here for SE. I'll consider it if it pulls up there or not. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, man. Yeah, I was exactly right, James. Look at exactly where it went to. Like, you see this top line? You see exactly where the stock went to? Yeah, my analysis on that one was spot on. Look at that. It went exactly to the line I drew, up to 27.40s. So, right up to that point, man. All right, so I'm getting closer to jumping in SE here. I just like the risk level. I like the good risk reward. I want to see the bid get a little bit higher here before I take it. All right. Oh, man. I'm immediately down $20 on this one for SE. So just a quick squeeze up. I got to be careful. I'll give it some time. I'll let it test the whole dollar, and then I'll jump out of it if it goes too much against me here. I'll give it its time. We'll see. I think it's going to test the whole dollar, though, and if it squeezes up, I got to get out. To be honest, I don't really like how this one's looking. I think it's getting a little bit too close to the whole dollar, and if it breaks that, it could squeeze up. I like my risk in the trade, but it's getting a little bit too close for comfort here. Here's the whole dollar test, which, like I said, that's what I'm really worried about. Got to be prepared to jump out here. Whew. Tested the whole dollar, got rejected. Let's hope it doesn't bounce back. I like the confirmation now, though. A little bit better drop. We'll see if it holds down here now, or if it picks up some momentum and squeezes up. Back up to 92s, 97. See, there's the momentum come back in. It tried the whole dollar again, got rejected again. Let's see what happens now. My fill was just terrible. That's the biggest problem, is that my fill was bad. Or maybe it was my entry. I just got to be careful, because if it pushes up, it could get really strong here and break that whole dollar and then really run, which it's probably about to do now. I'll let it test my risk, and then I got to jump out if it goes. Ugh. Squeezed up quick. $55 loss. Looks like today might be my first loss in 8 days. And so the green streak may be over today, guys. I think my green streak is over. I don't think it was a bad trade. I think it was a good VWAP fade. I think looking back in hindsight, I'm mad I didn't take AMD, which I called out on the spot, right on the dot. And yeah, losing days are going to happen, but disappointed for sure. Now it's just about having the discipline to not force anything. That's the biggest thing now, is having the discipline not to force anything. I think I got a bad entry, but I also think it squeezed up right when I jumped into it, and so I can't really blame it on a bad entry. And I think that a lot of stuff is running up aside from the market, and maybe I should have taken a long today instead of a short. But losing days are going to happen, and like I said, I was on an 8-day green streak, and so I can't really beat myself up too much over one losing day out of 9. So now it's just about having the discipline not to get super upset. You got to be able to accept losses when they happen. A lot of stuff still pushing up, though. AMD still testing that level right around 2740. CGC and Cron are both moving up as well. And you can see the market here. Should have taken AMD, but you can look at the market here and see that it's a little bit choppy. It gapped down in pre-market, but the market's a little bit choppy now. The only thing I'm really disappointed in is that this loss is bigger than my previous winners, you know? Like, that's the only thing I'm a little bit disappointed in, is that the loss is bigger. Like, my gain yesterday was 25. The day before that, it was 15. And so my loss is a little bit too big here, but it is what it is. AVP ended up squeezing up as well. And look, here comes the market making a big move up. So we'll see if the market breaks these highs here. I think that's when it's going to get interesting. SPY's starting to test these highs, so we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, Justin, hang in there, brother. It's just the good thing about losing and trading is that you always learn from your losses, you know. And so just take it with learn from it, and you'll bounce back, brother. Yeah, man, AMD is the one I should have got in this morning. That's the biggest one. Like, I always have one that I really miss during the day. AMD was that one. Look at that move up. Beautiful VWAP bounce. And the VWAP bounce was definitely in play for this one. You could also see the SPY starting to run up some here as well. Take it slow. How do you see if shares are available to short on TradeNet? You go to the trade manager, and anything that's tradable is shortable. So anything that you can trade is shortable. So like if I type in SE here, it says Y under tradable. As long as it says this Y under is tradable, then that means it's shortable. And so as long as it has that Y there, it's shortable. Let me see if I can use another example. Like CGC, this one's shortable as well. Even though it says short size 0, if it says this Y here under is tradable, that means it's shortable. No, it's not free Mac. So basically, the way TradeNet works, and maybe I'm biased because I post links for them, but the way TradeNet works is you pay for a package. The cheapest package is the intro package, and it comes with a certain amount of buying power. So you're actually paying for the package, though. It's not a deposit. You're actually paying for those packages. And like I said, with that comes a certain amount of buying power. And so with the intro account, it comes with 14,000 in buying power to trade with. So you have 14K in buying power to trade with. There's a $700 max loss. And so with the intro account, if you go under 13,300, they close your account down. And there's a profit split of 70-30. So you keep 70% of your profits and they keep 30%. But there's no PDT rule. And so you can day trade as much as you want. And like I've said it all before, but I think it benefits new traders because I think most new traders are going to lose their first account anyway. And it's just a much cheaper option to, essentially lose a TradeNet account is much cheaper than if you deposit thousands into a regular broker and then lose that. And I think that's a very common tale in trading. I think a lot of times new traders will deposit 2,000 or 3,000 into a regular broker, and most of the time they're going to end up losing that anyway because they're new traders. And so with TradeNet, you only lose essentially what you pay with the package. You're able to short anything that's tradable. You don't necessarily have to locate shorts, and you're actually able to trade with a decent sized account. And so I think for that reason it makes sense. Let me see. And if you're interested in checking out TradeNet, I'll post the link here. It's another great way you can help support the channel. There's the link if you're interested in checking that out. Yeah, Omar, man, I called it out too. Like if you look at AMD, that's the first kind of move I called out this morning. And then you can look at SE just in my face. It's just dropping in my face. But yeah, you can see here, I said this would be a good risk. 27.19, entry of 27.26, reward level of 27.40 for your first profit. And just a beautiful example of a nice VWAP bounce there. Kind of kicking myself a little bit for not taking it. How do they get away with no PDT rule? Because it's CFD trading. Because it's contract for difference. And so it's not exactly stock trading. It's basically, it acts exactly the same as stock trading, as you can see me, but it's CFD trading. But yeah, I mean, TradeNet right now is probably the best time to buy it because it's 30% off right now. You can get the intro account for like $350. And so you're essentially paying $350 for a $700 max loss. And so your max loss is 2 times what you're actually paying for the package. And like I said, you're getting to trade with 14K in buying power. It's just a good deal for new traders because it gives them that experience. Some paper trading for 2 months of a paper trading platform, you could buy you could instead buy a TradeNet account, and I think that makes way more sense. It's just ultimately a much cheaper option for new traders to learn. It also comes with like a trading course, access to their chat room, and a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, CGIX is kind of moving. It's a little slow. I mean, Mateo, watch all my old videos. Every trade I get into on this side, like if you see this left side here, this is TradeNet's platform on this left side here. So, I mean, you get in pretty quick. It's not bad. Later, 2A. Have a good day, brother. It's just a one-time fee. And so, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a pretty cheap deal. And I mean, if you think about it, TradeNet probably makes their money because most traders are going to, most new traders are going to lose their account anyway. And so that's a pretty safe bet. And as long as they pay out the traders that actually are profitable, I think it makes a ton of sense. And from everybody I've heard, they pay out as well. And so, I think it makes sense for sure. It's just a cheaper option. And like I said, I think most new traders are going to lose their TradeNet account as well. I think that's just the truth in trading. But it's just cheaper to lose a TradeNet account than to deposit, say, 2,000 or 3,000 into SureTrader or, wherever. It just makes more sense to spend less when you first get started. Because, like I said, I think most new traders are going to lose anyway. Later, 2-way. Have a good day, brother. At this point, I'm looking at Cron, C-R-O-N. 16 VWAP bounce, maybe. You could use a risk of like 92 or so. Really tight risk. Yeah, they have hotkeys. Yeah, they definitely have hotkeys. CFD stands for contract for difference, Olu. And so it's basically the contract on that stock. Yeah, SureTrader, I actually like the DOS platform with SureTrader. So I don't want to seem like I'm hating on SureTrader. I like the DOS platform. I think it's a great platform, honestly. The biggest problem with SureTrader is just all the fees. It's just really expensive. SureTrader, the platform's like $150 a month. Commissions are really, really expensive. And on TradeNet, like I can buy, 100 shares, and my commission is like $4 or $5 for a complete round trip. So in and out, all is only around, $4 or $5 if I buy less than, 300 shares or so. And so commissions are really cheap, and the platform's $15 a month. And so it's just much cheaper. Right, 100%. And the best thing to do is just to take it slow. The goal of a new trader should be just to extend the life of their account. It should be just to extend the life of the account out. And, your goal as a new trader should never be to actually make money. It should instead be to learn to trade and to get into good trades. I think that the trading world is filled with people advertising Lamborghinis and mansions and buy my course and you'll be able to make $100,000 in a week if you buy my $5,000 course. And trading's just not like that. It generally takes at least a year to do so effectively, to trade effectively and profitably, at least for most people, at least. And so, it's not something where most people are going to be able to jump into trading and then just start paying their mortgage with their trading profits within a month. It's just not like that. And it's advertised like it is, and that's part of the problem. All right, James. Have a good day, brother. See you tomorrow, man. Have a good day, bro. Yeah, maybe I should have gotten in Kron for this bounce play as well. Called that one out too. We'll see if it keeps dropping though. Target. Target's interesting here. I mean, it's right around the highs, and so I think that previous level right around 78.20 or 78.25 is big. Um, and I think it needs to hold over there. I basically taught myself Sonnet. Um, and listen, like I'm not trying to be an expert or anything like that. I just now started to be like a profitable trader. Like I just now started to do well enough, and it took a long time. And so we've been uploading classes and just kind of teaching people what we've learned and about our process. The biggest thing that can help traders, and this is honestly what I really believe, the biggest thing that can help traders is learning how to build a real trading plan before you get into the trade, right? And what I mean by that is try to calculate your risk and reward before you get into the trade in every trade you get into. Understand where your risk, or basically your stop out level, is. Make sure that it's smaller than your reward target. Make sure your reward target is generally, at least twice as big as your risk level. And if you stick to those risk and reward ratios, you'll have a huge edge over most other traders in the market. And it's something that's not necessarily talked about a lot. And you just got to get into the habit of analyzing the range of the stock, using that to determine what your appropriate risk should be, and use the chart to tell you where your risk should be, and then build that trade plan for every trade you get into. Calculate your risk and reward, and then if it has beneficial and favorable risk reward for you, then you can take the trade. But understand where you're going to enter and exit before you get into that trade. Don't just jump in blindly because it looks good. Wait to have concrete levels to follow. And I think that is what's ultimately going to give new traders specifically the biggest edge in the market, is calculating those levels in every trade they get into. I mean, I use almost solely technical analysis Mac, but I am a day trader, so fundamental analysis isn't as significant, in my opinion, for day trading. I'm not sure about that, Mac. I'm not sure what's going to happen, brother. Who knows, man? Yeah, maybe SE just faked me out here. You can see that original risk level I gave myself right here would have held really nicely. Just squeezed me up about 20 cents higher than my risk level, and I got to accept that. But the risk level would have worked out nicely there. And so maybe I just got scared out of it. But I like the risk level, and maybe I just got a little popped out of it, which is going to happen for sure. We'll see what happens with the SPY here. I might close it down a little bit early today. This is the first day my son has been back at school, and so I need to rest a little bit. I got to work on a class as well to upload a little bit later. And I don't think Mitch is going to be here today either, so. So yeah, that's probably it for today, guys. I'll probably end up closing it down. Not that I know of, Junior. I mean, I typically just set mental stops instead of hard stops because, you know, look at Kron with the VWAP bounce. Maybe I should have jumped in that one as well. Called that one out too. VWAP bounces have been working today for sure. But yeah, I'll probably be done for the day, guys. I'll go ahead and post these links. Like I said, if you're interested in checking out TradeNet, I'll post that link here for you to check out. Join our public Discord channel. There's the TradeNet link if you want to use the same broker that Mitch and I use. Like I said, I think the sale is going to be going on until the 28th, and so you got about 6 more days to take advantage of the sale. And so we'll see what happens. Go check out Trade Ideas as well. Really cool company. Allows you to do a lot of different stuff. Super dynamic, customizable scanners that, like I said, allow you to do a lot of different stuff in the market. I'll post this here as well if you want to go check out Trade Ideas. Super customizable. You can build your own scans around different strategies. And so go check out Trade Ideas as well. Like I said, join our public Discord. Here's the link for our public Discord if you want to be a part of our free day trading chat and talk with us after the stream is over. And yeah, guys, hit that subscribe button. You know, Mitch and I day trade live on stream every weekday morning starting at 8:15 market time. So hit that subscribe button. Click the like button to help support us. And yeah, good luck, guys. We'll see you all a little bit later.